So on my last video, we were talking about this. Millions of workers are getting a new raise as new minimum wage laws kick in, and I disagree with whatever they were saying about the $17. I totally disagree. That's my opinion. I feel like the new minimum wage should be at least $20, at least. You know, let me know y'all thoughts, because I feel like they're underpricing minimum wage, and you gotta look. They really gotta look at what the workers and the people do, and it's a whole thing. Like, I feel like it's a trap. You know what I'm saying? And I hate to even say words like that on my channel, but you know, you gotta look at it and you gotta see what is being, you know, pushed as the narrative. These guys sitting in the offices, they're not making $17 an hour. They are making great money, over 100. It's way past 85, 100,000 to report news, and they're looking at this like, oh, this is a new great thing. Like, no, you're getting paid way more than that. And while everybody else is, you know, I don't even want to say that they're happy, but I want to just say that I'm looking at it like, you gotta at least, like, now, if you can't pass no P test, I will agree. All right, you $17 an hour, my boy. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta be able to pass a P test. Like, that's just my opinion. You know what I mean? Because your liability, if something happens, they gonna judge screen you. And that's just pretty much it. I got many more thoughts. I want to read this article, so let's go ahead and get into it, because I need to know what's going on, man. All right, so as we can see, here are the new minimum wage hikes that take effect this month in cities and states across the U.S. Carrie Hannon, senior columnist, she reported this. Workers across the country will see their pay increase as new minimum wage laws take effect this month. The new minimum wage rose starting July 1st for more than 880,000 workers in Alaska, Oregon, and Washington, D.C. In D.C., the city's minimum wage increased to $17.50 per hour to $17.95 per hour. So it goes up 45 cents. That's nothing. A dozen cities and countries, including Chicago, Los Angeles, and San Francisco, are also raising their minimum wage. Nearly 6 in 10 workers who will see a bump in are women, and nearly half work full time, according to a report from the Economic Policy Institute, EPI. Minimum wage increases are a key helping people keep up with inflation, which hit a 4-decade high of 9.1% in the mid-2022 before sliding back to 2.4% recently. There's no doubt that there is an affordability crisis throughout the country, and these increases will provide needed relief to workers struggling to pay their basics. Yannick Lathrop, senior researcher and policy analyst at National Employment Law Project, told Yahoo Finance. But more raises are needed, especially at the federal level, where Congress has let the minimum wage languish at $7.25 an hour for more than 15 years. That is terrible, bro. According to EPI minimum wage tracker, 30 states and DC have a higher minimum wage than federal minimum. Man, minimum wage hikes in July. See, Alaska, y'all, boy. Y'all, I feel bad for y'all. That's $13 an hour. Insane. You know, there's companies paying $24 an hour. Trust me, I would know. You know, that's great money, but it's still like it's still not enough, man. To me, and that's what I'm making right now, it's not enough, man. We gotta get paid more, man. Sorry, bro. Some of these increases are earmarked for certain sectors. In California, for example, the wage hike is the healthcare sector workers, and the amount depends on the type of facility. The top tier is now minimum of $24 an hour. In Alaska, the minimum wage jumps from $11.73 to $13 an hour. Part of legislation reached $15 by 2027. That is terrible. That is terrible, bro. $15 in 2027. That is terrible. In Oregon, depending on the location, wages will increase to $14.05 an hour in non-urban areas, to $16.30 an hour in Portland metro area, and $15.05 in the rest of the state. It's less than $1 increase per tier. 10 cities and counties in California will see small increase to accounting for inflation, including Berkeley, Los Angeles, and San Francisco. The wage goes to 19. Bro, they dropping the wages on them from $19.18 an hour to, oh, okay, never mind. The wages goes to $19.18 an hour from $18.67. See, they get paid more in Los Angeles and San Francisco. They get paid way more. Look at Chicago. In Chicago, the pay for goes $16.60 for businesses with 4 or more employees, up from, they only got a 40-cent increase. They are tripping, bro. They are tripping. The 3 cities in Washington State are due for wage increase based on the business numbers of employees: Marin, Everett, and Renton. In many cities, minimum wage is linked to whether or not you also get paid in tips. Okay, that I can agree with that. In some areas, the minimum wage required for tipped employees also increased the minimum wage. The bulk of pay increases kicked off in January 1st to 21 states, and 48 cities raised their minimum wages rates. Some places, however, scheduled their changes at another point during the year. For example, Florida's minimum wage will increase $1 to $14 per hour on September 30th. Oh my gosh, man. I don't know, man. They fighting for $17 an hour? That's terrible, man. It says Rep. Greg Kazar speaks to workers at a press conference to reintroduce the Raise the Wage Act at the U.S. Capitol in April. The Raise the Wage Act will raise federal minimum over the next 5 years to at least $17 an hour. I mean, $17 an hour is nothing, bro. I was making that 5 years ago. 5 years ago. I'm at 24. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. It says, have a question about retirement, personal finance, anything career related, click here to drop Kerry Henderson a note. Also, 88 jurisdictions across 23 states were set to see minimum wage hikes by the end of 2025, according to a report by the National Employment Law Project. Those pay raises this year will directly affect more than 3 million workers earning minimum wage and directly nudge up for pay for more than 6.2 million higher paid employees, because the domino effect on company pay structures, according to the Economic Policy Institute data. I mean, we're in trouble. We're in trouble. All right. We're in trouble, man. It's coming down to my company. When I run my company, my employees will be able to get this certain amount of money, 20, $20 an hour. You pass P test, $20 an hour. You know what I'm saying? You can't expect employees to work and get like $37,000 a year. We're not. Forget how much it is an hour. We need to be talking about how much they're making a year, and then you got to factor in the taxes. Once you factor in the taxes, they're not making nothing. They're not. Nobody is, unless you're getting tipped, and I don't get tipped at all. Unless somebody feels considerate and gives me a dollar, you know what I'm saying? I'll be like, okay, cool, you know. But this is where we're at, man. So Alaska is at $13 an hour. District of Columbia is at $18 an hour. Oregon is from $14 to about $16 an hour. California healthcare worker minimum wage per hour range is great. And this is California, you know what I'm saying? California, they're at the 19 to 24 range. And they will make you take a P test for that position. Even though it's legal, you know what I'm saying, in California. Berkeley, CA, it's about 18. San Francisco, about 19. Chicago, $16. Like, man, I feel like they trying to play us, man. I feel like they trying to play. If you not, I'm talking about the people that like really be out in the field, bro. Like all the construction people. Like if they're not making $20 an hour, and the company is grossing over billions and billions of dollars, you can look at me wrong. I don't care. But I feel like they shouldn't be giving out the least minimum while the company is sitting back paying no taxes. They're paying their taxes, but they're not paying that much. You know what I'm saying? And then you got the struggling employees out there with 3 kids. It's not their fault they have 3 kids. It's not their fault that, you know, the cost of living is going up, increasing up. It's not their fault, but this is what we're at. This is where we're at, and this is a reminder of why I feel like influencers should start jobs and give a decent pay. You know, they have to, because if they don't, we're gonna be stuck sitting here, and they're gonna be saying that $17 an hour is the new minimum wage, and it's like, bro, they need to increase that to $20 an hour. If they're making billions and millions of dollars, they can take care of their employees, and they should. You know what I'm saying? If you guys have any disagreement, or if you agree with me, let me know in the comment section, because I feel like this video should open eyebrows about, you know, where you're at. Whoever's watching this video, where you're at. You need to be thinking about running your own business. You need to think about being a YouTuber. You need to think about being a content creator, because they get paid pretty well. Trust me, I know. If I was making $250 and I was only getting 2,000 views and 1,000 views, how much is 60K? How much is 125,000 views? How much would that be? That is more. That's guaranteed $1,000+ You know what I'm saying? If I was making that little $200, you gotta think, man. All right, that's all I got for y'all, man. I ain't finna continue to say the same thing over and over. Other than that, man, like, comment, share, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts. This right here should bring conversation into the fold. No, we're not reacting to videos no more. We're talking about the important stuff in life now, like health, minimum wage, robots, AI. Shout out to quality safety. Quality surveillance systems. AI generated surveillance systems that will dispatch police whenever there's a break-in. All right, You need to have it, man. I'm trying to tell you. You need to have it. You don't know who's gonna break into your office or your house or your garage. It's never planned. That stuff is never a set time. They just do it, and then they gone. All right. So get AI generated surveillance systems from Quality Surveillance Systems. All right. Other than that, I love y'all. Stay blessed by the best. I'll see you in the next video. We out. Gang, gang.